Hey crazy fam, it's Angie, and today we're at Spooky Empire checking out the Halloween Horror Nights panel and some vendors. Let's get to the fun.
I'm like, hey everybody, what's up, Spooky Empire? Alright, so this is always one of the most popular panels of the weekend. We are so excited to have them back. So a couple notes, you guys are allowed to take photos and videos. We're just kindly asking that you do not live stream the panel. Everyone get it? Good to go? Alright, so at this time, we're going to bring out your moderator. He is the show director of creative development. It is Ramon Peridot!
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate you being here. It's 2025 and we're doing the Spooky Empire panel again, and we're so excited about HHN 2025 and all the awesome things that we're going to talk about. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our panelists to the stage. Are we ready to see who we're going to be having up here talking? Without further ado, let's bring on stage Mike Aiello. Amazingly talented people, my colleagues, and I'm so excited that you all get to hear them talk all about how a cohesive theme for Halloween Horror Nights really brings the event to life. So, to get us started, I'm going to go one by one. Go ahead and introduce yourself, give us your title, and talk a little bit about your history with both Universal and Halloween Horror Nights as a whole. So, Mike, take it away.
Me first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Aiello. I'm the Senior Director of Creative Development for Universal Orlando Entertainment. I've been with the company since 1996. Yes, started as a job skipper. Today, still very proud of that. Very happy about that. And again, I've been with Horror Nights in some capacity since, as a character in '96, and then writing shows starting in 2002, and then the rest is history. But Horror Nights is that warm blanket that we love to work on. So good to see everybody. Thanks for being here.
Working at Universal Orlando in 1996. Funny story, I was not a huge horror fan, but my first job, and I think a lot of you know that probably by now, my first job was a singing and dancing Bride of Frankenstein. Who knew that trajectory would bring me to Horror Nights? I was asked by TJ Manarino to join the Horror Nights team in the very late 90s, early 2000s to work on haunted houses. And I said, why? And he goes, because things scare you, right? And I go, everything. And he goes, that's what we want. And so I've been a part of Horror Nights now for over 25 years. Houses, scare zones. I now love horror movies and I love horror. So Horror Nights was my gateway into this whole industry. So I love Horror Nights. I love working on Horror Nights. And that's my story.
Hey everybody, I'm Nicolette Zinger. I am the producer. Thank you. I actually started in 2008. I walked into an audition room and Laura Sauls was sitting behind the table, and she cast me as a school kid in the schoolhouse, which was our street back in 2008. I spent my next couple years being a scare actor, and I loved it, but I had to be part of making it happen. So I started working with entertainment production as a coordinator, and then did the roles that followed that: assistant stage manager, eventually assistant production manager, and production manager of Halloween Horror Nights, which led me to being a producer now. And I'm so thrilled to work with people that I'm so inspired by every day and bring it to life. So.
I'm Melissa Kilpatrick. I'm the field scenic producer for art and design for Halloween Horror Nights. I've been with art and design since the early 2000s. I've been there about 17 years, and 16 of those years I've been fortunate enough to work on Halloween. I started as a set dresser on the decor crew, having fun, making crazy, weird stuff for you guys to see. Worked my way up, decorated a tiny little Jack show that we did a few years back. I don't know if you guys remember how awesome that was. It was a real blender, and there were real people in that. And then moved my way up. Once we had our 10th haunted house, I was lucky enough to be brought in to decorate that, and then I've stuck around with the company ever since, and now field scenic producer working on a little bit of all of it.
Hello everybody, Brian Beauregard. I'm the Executive Creative Director for Global Merchandise. I've been working with Universal and Halloween Horror Nights since 2002 at the birth of Caretaker. Many of you know that. It's been a heck of a journey over these last 23 years, and got an amazing team, and we're kind of like the end goal of actually bringing that experience to life and that souvenir and that momentum that you take home. So it's working with some amazing creative folks to be able to bring the merchandise to life, to be able to give you guys that great history and that souvenir and that collectible every single year. So trying to raise that bar and keep that momentum going. So thank you all for being here today.
Well, I'm Manny. I'm the Senior Director for Visual Merchandising and Store Design. And you were telling a funny story. I said I should tell a funny story too. I actually came to Universal and interviewed on my honeymoon. And I'm a huge classic horror fan, so classic Universal monsters, and that's what brought me to the company. And so my wife was okay letting me go do the interview, on the honeymoon. But like I said, I've been here 24, going on 25 years. It's something new all the time, and we're always trying to innovate, do new things. And this year, 10 years of Tribute Store. So if you've ever been to a tribute, it's been a blast, and we're so excited to work with a team like this, and extend the retail experience into the overall experience of Horror Nights.
So Rob's got the first spoiler. He got the first spoiler out. There it is.
I should probably do a little bit of my background too, right? Totally forgot. 2017, so not quite as extensive of a resume as my awesome colleagues here, but I started off as a scare actor, and I was a scare actor for 2 years working Halloween Horror Nights. Prior to that, since 2008, I've been a Halloween Horror Nights super fan. So I was coming to the event every single year. I was buying my frequent fear pass. I was obsessed with the event and knew it was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I started out as a scare actor, and then from there I had the opportunity to start with the creative development team as a performance coordinator, and it's been quite the journey since then. I'm very, very grateful.
And he's a hell of a writer.
Okay, Mike, I'm going to go ahead and start with you.
Oh no.
Here we go. Talk to us about the importance of a cohesive overall theme for Halloween Horror Nights.
Sure, yeah. Well, first, quick poll. Who's been to Horror Nights? Who's never been to Horror Nights? It's okay. There's a baby. Is that a real baby?
Is the baby coming this year?
Wouldn't that be the first time we've had a baby in the event? That's awesome, because here's the thing. The great thing about Horror Nights, and everyone that's been before, which is most of this room, the thing that we all pride ourselves on is that we're transforming the event every single year. That is something that we have held to in almost every single year. A couple years we had maybe a house or two that were the same. American Wolf in London was one of them. But that is something we take pride on. So there is a philosophy that we all take on about that if we're going to change the event every single year, we need to make sure that the book cover of that event or the movie poster for that event is also incredibly different, so that you as the fans and also we as creators can get excited about the world that we want our content to live within. And over the years, there have been all kinds of different variations on what anyone would consider the overall theme. And I know as fans, because I read everything, they also have opinions on overall thematics and all of those, everything that goes into that. So over the years, there have been all kinds of different categories that we've taken on. Some years have been icon-based, where there's an icon character, Jack, leading the charge, therefore an environment exists that the event lives within, his circus, his carnival of carnage. Oddfellow, another great example. The event itself is able to take on those textures led by Oddfellow or that character. Then there have been years where the IPs themselves, or some of the collection of IPs, because those are the ones that are marketed nationwide, also on both coasts, that there's a texture there that we know we can lean into. The 80s was a texture we did, I think, in 2019. Yes. It all goes together at some point, man. You guys know more about each year than I do. This is a mess up here, gang. I'm just telling you that right now. So the 80s, we knew we had Stranger Things that year. So the idea of being able to house the event in those 80s textures, neon, even the soundtracks, all of that kind of lived there. So it's important for us to kind of, when we're starting, define what kind of thematic do we want for this year. So, for 2025, what we've decided to do is take a kind of a step back in what is horror? What are the beginnings of horror? What are the textures that come to mind when you think about the initial horror feel? And Gothic textures come to mind. Stained glass, vines, gargoyles. So this was an exercise that Laura and I took on, and initially just trying to examine how we wanted to kind of attack this year. And when those textures started to combine, and we'll get into this a little bit as we go down the line, we bring on our partners to kind of talk about these textures a little bit. And a place that we have identified as the house or the environment our event lives in this year is a place called the Conservatory. I'll stop there. I'll stop there. We got a lot of panelists, people. We got a lot there. This is only an hour, okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Laura, when thinking about an overall thematic, talk to us about how this year we are working to infuse that overall theme into different aspects of the event throughout the park as a whole.
Yeah, so when Mike and I were talking, and the whole team were talking about this overall thematic, we've been talking about it for a year, right? Looking at these Gothic textures, we really, this year, more than ever, really wanted to fully immerse you as our guests in this overall thematic. So as soon as you cross through those turnstiles, you are going to be hit with those Gothic tones and textures. You are going to make your way towards the Music Plaza stage, and that tone and texture, and maybe the characters that surround you, the scenic elements, everything is going to carry that theme all the way through your journey. If you chose to take that right down Hollywood Boulevard, that theme is still there in a different way, but still taking on those tones, textures, environments, stained glass, still within that conservatory wall. And as we break through and go towards other areas of the park, you are going to feel those same textural tones in our lighting elements all around the park, in our overall music score that is all around the park. This year, our word of the year is immersive. We are immersing you in Horror Nights everywhere you go.
Very immersive. Thank you, Laura. Melissa, from a scenic and decor standpoint, talk to us about how your teams creatively help us execute an overall theme from a visual standpoint with scenic and decor throughout the entire event and with houses and scare zones as well. And if you have any examples of from the past, that'd be great too.
Well, sure. We touched a little earlier about a character maybe you guys liked a little bit, Dr. Oddfellow. We did such a great job with that. It starts with show direction and our scenic designers getting together, and they giggle a lot and come up with these crazy ideas, and they come out of that room, and then Nicolette's like, oh, okay, I'll give you a check for that. And then we work with these wonderful vendors, and they build these huge, realistic, amazing sets, but it's really just a set until our decor teams come in. They do what I call the 3 things every set dresser should do. Number 1, you give your directors what they think they want. You give them what they actually want, and then you give them what they don't know they want. And the not knowing what they want part is what is the showstopper that takes it over the top. With the Oddfellow, every street zone, our house, every single little nook and cranny was so thought of and purposeful that it seemed natural, but it was so intentful. And that's that last layer that really brings that magic. And we're so lucky to have such wonderful, talented teams that do this work with us.
I remember when the decor team was in the Oddfellow house and they came out the first time we walked through when they were in there, they came out and they were like, we love this house. And we were like, we can tell, this is incredible. You gave us stuff, like Melissa said, that we didn't even ask for. So it's incredible.
To that point, I'd love to quickly take a moment to give a huge shout out to our decor team because they truly are fully come to life until decor gets in there. So huge shout out to that team because they are incredible.
Well, one thing I was just going to say, it kind of tying into Melissa about the layered nature of the creative process in all aspects of what we do. It also keys into the overall thematics as well. Those stories that we want to tell each year, they have to serve a lot of people. Because again, everyone in this room I would consider probably the hardcore fans of Halloween Horror Nights. And that is the audience that we are thinking about constantly. You have no idea how often we bring you up in the best ways as we're doing these creative brainstorms. It really is about dissecting what we did. That's the true other great thing about it. We get to do it again every year and try and figure out what did we do great, what didn't we do so great, how can we improve those things. You all are thought about so much in this process. At the same time, we have to be able to design content that is for the person that's coming to the event, maybe for the first time, that wants to grab a beer and go into a haunted house. That's all they want to do. They just want to get scared and leave. We have to think about that audience as well. So as we're developing these stories and these textures, it has to serve all of those masters. You know, we're able to, I'm gonna use some marketing terms, the waders, those are the people that only go this deep in the water, right? And us in here, we're underneath holding our breath for 2 minutes. You know, maybe trying to get to 3 minutes if we can. You know, so we're constantly thinking about that barometer as we're creating all of this content.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nicolette, on the entertainment production side of things, talk to us about how you and your teams help us take these ideas from concept to reality to make them logistically achievable.
Yeah, we think of ourselves in entertainment production as the HAL group, right? We like to leave the really cool ideas and ideation and creativity to these folks so that we have the time to figure out how to make that happen. And we have to think about it from a lot of perspectives. A lot of times we're trying new things. Like Mike said, you know, we're always trying to push the envelope and do something new. So a lot of times it says, let's go out and learn about some industry things that are happening out there. What's the latest technology? It's on us to kind of learn and share those learnings with these folks. Sometimes it's R&D in-house. We may gather all of our great creative minds in our technical entertainment team, our decor team, our scenic team, and say, let's all grab together, let's have a work session, let's figure out how we can make this happen, and who's gonna take each avenue to kind of navigate that. Then there comes with the logistics. How long is this gonna take? How much is it gonna cost? How do we get there? How does it impact our guests? How does it impact our team members that are gonna actively go out there and bring this to life? So we have to think about all those pieces, but we like to think of ourselves as like that hub of information. We take the really cool creative idea that we get so jazzed and passionate about, and we're driven by the want of wanting to make that real for all of you out there.
Talk to us about you and your team's process in infusing overall thematic, overall themes and textures into the design approach for merchandise for Halloween.
Absolutely. So just echoing what Mike and what Laura said is we start really early in merchandise, almost earlier than everybody because we have some crucial deadlines based on production. So we have to start early. I look back at some of the original concepts that we had and some inspiration. It was last September. And that's probably some of the earliest we've actually started. So there's a core of us, a nucleus of creativity. When we start brewing, we start throwing stuff up against the wall to see what sticks. Because there's a lot of different ideas that come out of it, but how do we narrow it down? So that's like the big question is, what are we going after this year? How are we telling the story and how are we bringing it to life? Merchandise is just one extension of that. So we start extremely early We partner with all our IP partners as well, so there's a lot of different dynamics that go into the process that we have to kind of bake into the design, the whole design calendar. So that's kind of the challenge, but what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're in sync with all the other departments as well to make sure we keep bringing up that word, cohesive, all aligned. That's so important to be able to bring the merchandise to life. We're always pushing the team. My team is out here in the audience someplace, but it's kudos to them because they're really thinking outside of the box, and we let them run and get a couple ideas and all kinds of unique content and see what really works. So then we hone in on that, and then we work with Mike, we work with Laura, we work with Rob to make sure that everything is buttoned up and that texture is just seamless across the board. So it's a great challenge because every single year we have to come up with different looks. We don't like to recycle. So that is the big challenge, is what haven't we done before and how does it mirror what everybody else is doing for the event? So yeah, it's a pretty lengthy process, but it's an awesome creative process. And that's where we get to where we are today, merchandise-wise.
We all love the tribute stores that you and the visual merchandise. Truly incredible work that you all do. Talk to us about your process on the visual merchandise side of things when conceptualizing the theme for a tribute store that ties into the overall thematic scene of Halloween Horror Nights.
Sure, I can go into that. Before I do, I want to talk about that nucleus you just talked about, that creative nucleus. Imagine a bunch of HHN horror fans getting into a meeting every other week and just talking about Halloween and horror stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I spend time picking out the different toys that Mike has added to his office each week, and we are all just huge fans. So it's a great pleasure to work with this team. Like you said, we started August of last year talking about this year's theme. So as far as our process, it's very similar to what everyone has already said on the panel. Ours, like this seating arrangement, ours kind of comes later in the game. So after the creative is done, really it starts to kick in once Brian starts sending me the reference images, and once we get the loose sketches and everything of the merchandise, because almost like, think of it like a movie. And we've all seen those movies that there's either a scene or an actor that really doesn't fit in the movie and it kind of throws everything off. We want to fit into the narrative of what everything's doing. So if you think about a theme park in general, people don't have to shop when they come to a theme park. They want to come for the rides, the attractions and whatnot. They have to eat at some point, but they don't necessarily have to shop. We want to give them a reason to shop. And that's really where tribute stores started, is we want to be part of the event. We want to be part of the environment. We want to be a seamless part of that. And we want to give people reason to say, I want to go in the house. I got to try that Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I have to give credit if there's any F&B people in here. Think about the last 10 years and the evolution of F&B at Halloween Horror Nights. It's been amazing. So credit to them all around. But that's our goal, is we want to be a part of the event. We want to complement the event. As far as the design process is, we start with ideation maybe a year ahead of time. Now, not all of those come to fruition because depending on where the theme goes, we have a lot of loose concepts and we start to narrow it in the closer we get. As soon as Brian starts giving me the sketches, that gives us a clear direction on where we can go. We have evolved that process over time. For those who you've been following the tribute store, there used to be a time where we would do each room a different themed IP or something like that. And that was a lot of fun to do, but it also got a little difficult, operationally and whatnot. And how do you go from Universal Monsters to a Jack the Clown to a Beetlejuice room? And, it kind of got choppy. So we have evolved that process into a more integrated storyline to where everything that's coming to the event can now live within one space. So we've done Victorian manors, we've done movie theaters, we've done video stores, all of that, to fit everything under one umbrella. So along with this group, retail has evolved along with the event. And like I said, ours comes a little bit later in the game because we kind of have to wait for all of this to settle before we can start cutting wood and putting nails into the wood. But it's an amazing creative process that we have laid out here.
Awesome, thank you.
Before you do another question, my watch is going off like crazy. Every third is a social media something about we're revealing something at the end of this panel, and we're not. I just want to say that right now. We're not.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's been going crazy. Like I can't even listen to what people are like. You're gonna reveal something. Reveal something.
Well, the good thing is nobody was expecting it.
No one's expecting a reveal. Hey, Ramon.
Yes.
You're not just the moderator of this panel.
Yes.
True. Yes, true.
Yes.
You're also a show director.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you want to reveal one of your haunted houses?
I kind of want to, but I'm not sure if they want.
I don't think we definitely didn't prepare anything.
No. Strictly decor. But I think you're right. I do think that we officially announced the first original haunted house for Halloween Horror Nights 34. Without further ado, it is my honor to announce the first original house for Halloween Horror Nights 34, the tragic ghost tale of a tortured artist consumed by evil. El Artista, a Spanish haunting.
Where dreams, sueños, come to blossom. A haven for the inspired. Un santuario that is cursed by tragedy and haunted by malevolent spirits. A forsaken void that calls out to the torture artista with ill intent. Un lugar, a place that called to me, Sergio Navarro. With each passing day, their whispers grow louder. Sus susurros se hacen más fuerte. I feel them looming over my shoulder as I work, eager for their ghastly forms to be painted onto the canvas. I can't resist. No puedo resistirlos. Tonight, los muertos, the ghosts, are more restless than ever. And my heart, mi arte, will imitate their death.
Announce our first original house. We've been very excited to be presenting this haunted house as part of our lineup for Halloween Horror Nights 34. To give you a brief synopsis of the story, set in the late 1800s in Spain, there is a famed artist by the name of Sergio Navarro, and he is kind of, his career is in a little bit of a dip. He's looking for some creative inspiration. So he relocates himself to this desolate manor in the middle of the woods called La Casa Creación, the Creation House, a place known as a creative hub for the tortured artist, but has quite a bit of legend behind it. Unbeknownst to him, the manor's grounds are infested by the spirits of artists that came before him and also moved to the manor. And there's a deeper sense of evil rooted deep within the manor grounds that exists mostly inside the conservatory. And within this conservatory, this deep sense of evil overtakes Sergio's mind, influencing his art, forcing him to paint these horrifying things that come to life. And the spirits want to use his artwork as portals to break into our world. So one night, when the veil is at its thinnest, Sergio has to overcome his own madness and the ongoing whispers of the ghosts as they proceed to break through his artwork, to use his artwork as portals, to set us forward into a haunting unlike any we've seen before. And that is the story of El Artista, a Spanish haunting. As the show director and writer of the story, story of this haunted house is the honor of my career, especially as a Latino, for all my Latino folks out there. The original tale that we're getting to tell. Sergio's story has never been told before. We're so excited to be presenting it. So many incredibly talented people came together, treated this project as a passion project. I want to give a shout out to my scenic design partner, Dylan Kolab, who is a our customer. So many incredibly talented people came together to present this story, and I'm very grateful for their partnership, and I cannot wait for you all to see the fruits of their labor.
Because we talked about overall thematic as well, and I think this is an important detail in the ways we can tell our stories. So again, we told you we all got together and figured out what's the tone and feel of the event. We defined those textures, and then we go to the team and define these textures to the team, and what comes out of that? Something like this. So, and then this actually backs back into some of the textures that you're going to see into the event. Not to say that this is the story of the event, but maybe to say that the event takes place within this story.
Yeah, absolutely. And the idea of horrifying paintings and artwork coming to life, that theme carries through too, and how we're executing that overall theme throughout the event. We've announced the house, talked about the story a little bit. Do you guys want to see some behind the scenes content of the house? We have this awesome keynote presentation that's going to show you some behind the scenes imagery, coincidentally enough. So the very first thing I'd love to talk about is the characters of the haunted house, right? So obviously we started with the character of Sergio. We wanted to ground him in some reality. We wanted to make him a really prominent character in the story because it is his story. So when it comes to the character design for that character, because it's set in the late 1800s, because it's set in Spain, we drew inspiration from all those textures to create and conceptualize his look, which is really, really cool. But then we have all the aggressors and the entities that are coming for Sergio, right? So when we knew we wanted to tell a ghost story, we wanted to really run the gambit on the different kinds of creatures and attackers we can see within the environment of a ghost story. You have spectral entities, right? Apparitions of ghosts that belong to the manor, the artists of the past. But then we wanted to play with, well, what if we had some creatures that were poltergeist creatures, right? Creatures that possessed Sergio's artwork and came to life and used his artwork as vessels for themselves to have tangible bodies as opposed to just being spectral entities, right? So the character design, again, huge shout out to Stephanie Mascow, Emily Blumenauer, and our entire character designer team who came together to present some really unique characters that we're featuring in this haunted house. Some of the mask designs, I'm not sure if that's one of the things we're showing. The mask designs are just incredible, and the costuming to complement it is just absolutely stunning. And I cannot wait for you all to see it as the story unfolds in the haunted house. Also, from a scenic standpoint, this house is just absolutely stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. Again, shout out to Dylan Kolab, our scenic designer. He was a designer of a little haunted house we know and love called Dead Man's Pier. And another one was 1 Minute Dark Offerings. So he's got quite the resume as well. And truly, you feel that you are inside this haunted Spanish manor. When it comes to the textures, we're seeing that Gothic stained glass feel throughout, but you're also, there's some Spanish colonial textures in there too, since it's set in Spain. So it is just beautiful in every kind of way, but don't be fooled, it is just as horrific as it is beautiful. With that in mind, talking about scenic, Melissa, I would love to throw it over to you. Talk to us a little bit about the scenic process for this house, kind of what Dylan went through and seeing it from concept to reality.
Yeah, well, Dylan, not only is he just a great human and amazing to work with, he loves architecture. Particularly, he was so excited to get to work with Spanish architecture. Gaudi is one of his favorites of all time. So he was really able to take his lifelong love and something he was passionate about and infuse it into this house. Judging by the resume that Ramon just gave you, it might be kind of big. I guess we'll see. But really, it came with a story. They came with the story, and then Dylan just did this great job of building this. I don't want to give too much away, but just building this amazing space. for this tale to unfurl.
There is attention to detail in every bit of the scenic design in this haunted house. There's things hidden in the textures of the walls. Truly, we've gone above and beyond to help tell that story, and we're so excited for you all to see it.
There's no nook, no cranny, no place in this house that wasn't thought about, and you guys are gonna hopefully love it as much or more than we do.
Laura, I'd love your thoughts on the scenic design and the execution of the house from a physical standpoint.
One of the things that I'm so excited about within El Artista Spanish Haunting is the graphics that you will see if you pay close attention as you are walking through this house. The story of artists who were striving to find their passion again as artists come to this house, this Spanish manor, and they're being possessed, and their works of art are being possessed by these haunting and these other artists that came before them. What I love about some of the works of art that you're going to see as you go through this Spanish manor is that their works of art are going to come to life throughout all of the event. So if you pay close attention, if you go on the Unmasking the Horror tour, that Lights On tour, you might see some of the artwork that our graphic designers so brilliantly put together that kind of show some of the other things within our event.
Absolutely. I'd love to take a moment to talk about some of the effects that we're going to see in this house, because Dylan and I, when we were in the creative room thinking about this haunted house, the two of us are huge HHN fans, like I mentioned, right? We've been both going to the event for so long. So we wanted to draw inspiration from a lot of these kinds of ghost stories from the past, your dead ends, your gothics, those kinds of textures. We wanted to take inspiration from some of those houses, but then also push the boundaries on how we achieve ghost effects in the haunted house. Some ways that we are achieving that. We all know and love the Pepper's ghost effect. There's a lot of Pepper's ghosts in this haunted house. We've got that going on. You're going to physically see ghosts trying to burst through paintings, pushing through the canvas of paintings, and you may or may not see ghosts walking through walls. Can't confirm, but maybe. So that's just some of the examples on how we're really trying to push those boundaries from an FX standpoint to make you feel like you are walking alongside Sergio as this haunting is going from bad to worse. So you are walking with him step by step and seeing all the things that he's seeing as this haunting kind of comes to a head and grows out of control. We also have some awesome behind-the-scenes imagery from inside the haunted house that we'd love to show.
They may have already shown that.
They might have already shown it.
Oh, what'd you guys think? So that's why they were so excited. And again, that's just scratching the surface. The house is absolutely beautiful, and once you see it all in full scale, we hope that you're going to love it.
And again, it goes back to what are the different ways we can tell our overall thematic. And again, there are many different Easter eggs, many different visuals in this house, because we were really inspired by the idea of this one place informing some of the content within the event, and vice versa. Again, how do we infuse the content back into this house? It's a really great method of being able to deliver items that we know the fans are going to want to dive into, but at the same time, deliver a house that is a true haunted house, and that all the other content in the event can kind of live within and surround themselves in. So we're able to achieve all levels of an integration of how any guests want to immerse themselves into this event.
Or not, will Five Nights at Freddy's be a haunted house, or how will it be brought to the event this year?
We have officially announced that Five Nights at Freddy's will be part of Halloween Horror Nights on both coasts. We have not officially said how that will be a part of the event.
It will be there.
But it will be in the event, and what I can tell you, it's going to be cool, it's going to be fun, and what I can tell you is it is going to look identical to how that franchise looks. The characters will look identical to how they appear in the Blumhouse Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Those bright lights that came on, that was PR making sure we were staying in line. With that being said, thank you all for your amazing questions. Honored to call you all my partners. Huge shout out to them. Round of applause for our panel.
I just want to say thank you all for being here. Like I said, we think about you all literally every single day. And how we can be better creatives, be better at our event, and give you something that you can truly love. That is our goal every year. Thank you for being here.
And never go. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you.
Gypsy Moon. Holy cow. This looks amazing. Wow, it is. There's evil Mickey and Minnie right there. And wait, who is this? Whoa, Davie. When did you show up? Yeah? What do you think of this right here?
I don't know. The toys look pretty killer.
They are definitely a little killer. What is this little thing?
It's a teaser.
I want that as a pet. Would you keep that as a pet?
Maybe this one.
That one?
Yeah.
It is a little cutie.
There's not a lot of colors.
Yeah, a lot of colors going on there. And it's Rick for the second time. It is Rick. Let's check out his mask real quick.
You're a big fan of these masks, right?
Yes.
Tampa J.
Tampa J, yeah. Tampa J is a major fan of these masks, which is absolutely amazing. 13X Studios, make sure you follow them. And the owner of 13X Studios.
What's up,
hello. Selfie guy himself.
Up,
I'm
man?
Terrifier
Yeah.
too.
Terrifier 2 in the house. I'm the only one representing Terrifier at the show this weekend,
Yeah.
so hopefully, you know.
I was a little disappointed they didn't announce Terrifier today. Honestly, I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Hopefully soon, though.
Oh, for the HHN?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's another cool shop right here. Jackets that they put pictures on. I don't know if there's a name for this place.
Yeah, in Excel.
Now this is cool, guys. Handmade lamps from the bottles. Like Terrifier right there. That is a company. Look at this picture. And it's all made out of little ducks. How much is that one? $225. That is absolutely amazing.
And I can do anything you want custom. So all of these were custom pieces that I made a second one of because they came out pretty good.
Wow, the Tingle Bell, I didn't even see that. Wow, that looks amazing. Good job. The Five Nights at Freddy's one.
I did it.
Too bad it's already sold, but that's really cool. That lamp is amazing as well. Oh my gosh. They have some cool stuff here. was that? The image craze.
Excuse me.
Bad movies? I'm all about bad movies.
You love bad movies?
Silent but Deadly looks really bad.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, is it?
We made it ourselves. That's
Oh,
how
did
bad
you?
it is.
I love bad movies.
It's like a
They're
sticker
so
that
good.
says I love bad movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, it'll cost you $20.
$20, all right, let's do it.
What?
But you get a free Blu-ray.
You get a free Blu-ray.
Of your choice.
The kings of bad movies.
Some of the best or worst, depending how you look at it.
Imagine Jaws if you just replaced Talon Steven Spielberg with a hack.
You said $20 a movie?
$20 for a Blu-ray, $15 for the DVD of
Shark. It's rubber
Silent
alligators.
Okay. I found my type of store. Spoiler alert, I already bought something. Griller, lobster, tradable. Or collectibles, excuse me. Do you have a card?
We don't have a card, just our Instagram page.
Gotcha. Make sure you follow them on Instagram. Oh, and they have the Bam Bam Bigelow. I just bought that one recently. I don't like the superheroes over here. Animes. There's glow-in-the-dark Pennywise right there. And then my favorite area is... Oh my god, there's Baby Sinclair. I didn't see that. That's so cool. The horror section. Which I just bought the Insidious Red Demon. I love the Funko Pops, the horror ones. I have most of, not most of them. I have some of these, the ones I really wanted to collect, but these are really cool. We're at another shop, and look at this. This cute little gremlins. How adorable.
Some water on it.
Yeah, I put some water on that. And then, scale action figures of Michael Myers. These are so cool. Gosh, I wish I could get one. Anyways, and then these. And then we have some masks as well over here. Alright guys, this is the first. This is definitely a first for me. Haunt sauce. We're definitely going to have to check some out. So what do we got? Dragon Heat. Terrifier. Hold on, oh no. The Terrifier. Oh my god.
I met Richard Mann a couple times. And something Buffalo is trying to keep, like, get me to get
So can we taste these?
What's that?
Can we taste these?
Oh, absolutely. We got little spoons right there. All the sample bottles are up there.
Alright, so I gotta try the Terrifier one. So let's do this. David, would you do the honors?
But yeah, I love all those Fullmere's productions. Like, me too. Like the ones from back in the day. Like, those are the ones that are like,
Maintenance, I gotta clean it up.
still right, but not like
But it's hot.
better.
It's currently burning my mouth. I gotta put some
Excuse me. Yeah, it's kind of soft.
So, like 1 to 10, how hot?
burning my mouth. So I think about a 7 right now.
7, okay. You're not turning red or anything, so.
No, not at all. I want to try more, but I'm burning right now. My mouth is burning inside. Do you want to try it?
If I had something to drink, I'm good.
I feel like I might on the border of not maybe needing a drink. I think I need to punish myself just a little bit more. I'm gonna go with
A lot of big people on that one.
Yeah, and it only took like.
And what's the name of it?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it took longer to
That really sounds hot.
We were talking about it ever since the book. That one, which was published
A little bit this time.
longer than that. So it's been in the works for like
Like it talks.
It's coming along. Yeah, that's really hot.
Hotter?
I might have to get my drink for this one. Listen.
That's the one you need to get. I'm dying.
I ain't getting none of them. It's hot.
Don't ask me to record stuff because I'm just going to laugh.
The taste is great. The heat is awesome. Really spicy.
I want to know what the hottest one is.
Turn around, look at this lady.
Oh my goodness. You look amazing.
Wow.
I ran into her.
Water's not helping. It's actually making it worse.
Okay, just lay off the water. Maybe we need vodka.
We were going to make
Thank you guys.
hot sauce called.
You can find these guys right here.
There is Officer Doofy. He is returning for Scary Movie this year. Well, next year's movie, but holy cow, I can't believe he's right there. How are you? Thanks for hanging out. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. The vacuum is right there. If you watch Scary Movie, you know. Oh, this is hilarious. I'm gonna meet the vacuum. I don't want to touch it because you don't know where it's been, but hello, vacuum. Andy Barclay is right there. Alex Vincent. Holy cow. Simon Pegg is supposed to be over there real soon. But nobody's going up to Andy Barclay. I'm walking away with two awesome finds right here. The Goosebumps Complete Series DVDs. That is absolutely amazing. And I couldn't find this anywhere. And so I'm so glad I found it now. Excuse me. And the Insidious Red Face Demon, which I also, this is the cheapest I can find him for $15. Really good finds today.
No, if you look into my eye, you can see my thoughts. You don't want to do that.
I won't, I promise you. Don't look into his eyes. Anyways, here's the after party area. They will be watching a movie over there. Hollow Scream over there. And there's a bar right over there. SeaWorld Hollow Scream. Orlando Years of Fear. 5 years. They've been doing the Hollow Scream at SeaWorld for 5 years. I think I've went to all, no, besides one. I went to all of them besides one. So I've been going for 4, this is going to be the 4th year. Exclusive tickets right there if you scan, $41.99. They also have a tattoo showroom where you can get multiple tattoos, one tattoo, but all sorts of tattoo vendors are here, ready to give you a tattoo.